1051.
I made it mine. Yeah, I told you, I made it mine. Jump in the Porsche, rather than not. I changed your life, now you gon' ride. Ooh, sing it, he ain't got no money. Ooh, sing it, he ain't got no money.
Shout out EmEz and tune in to the Sit Down.
Boy, you should've known by now. Easy does, easy does, easy does.
Yes, let's do it. This is the Sit Down. It's your main man, EmEz, and across from me this afternoon is Success and A&R from Atlantic Records. How you doing this afternoon, sir?
I'm good, man. How you?
I'm good. I can't complain. I mean, the weather's cold, you know.
It is.
Kicking my ass, but we be all right. Now, explain to me what an A&R does, because a lot of people say they're A&Rs, they're handlers, they work for somebody. Like, what is the definition and the job description of a A&R?
So I'm director of A&R. A&R stands for artists and repertoire. Okay. Basically, that means all things artists. That means I'm the one that's in the showcases. I'm the one that's on YouTube, on Twitter, on IG, that's looking for artists. So from the time we discover an artist, we sign an artist, we go in the studio and put in songwriters and producers with the artist, all the way until the artist finishes at the label. That's what A&R does. In addition to A&R, there's marketing people, there's publicity, there's radio, there's all these different things that go along as part of the artist's career. But A&R is, from the beginning, it's our vision to sign and find the artist all the way to the end of the album getting done. All of those things fall under A&R.
Mm-hmm. Now, does an A&R get paid depending on how big the artist gets, or do you just get the check no matter what happens with the artist?
So we definitely get, we get a salary.
Okay.
But in addition to that, we get incentive. If your artist blows up, sells a certain amount of records, goes platinum, certain chart positions, then we get bump ups and we get bonuses and we get raises and so forth. So, once we get hired, obviously we negotiate a contract for a set salary, but then nobody just want that base salary. You want those bonuses every year. You want, all of that. You want that raise. You want that platinum plaque. You want all of those things.
Gotcha.
Nowadays with streaming, same thing. If you get, 100 million streams, nowadays we doing plaques for streams and all of these things.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, definitely. Because nobody's selling records, so it's like, it's all about streaming nowadays. Cool.
It's the Sit Down. It's your main man, EmEz. It says here you're from Chicago, Southside.
Southside Chicago.
How was it growing up in Chicago? Because now it sounds like, I've never been, so I can't say that I know, but it sounds like it's dangerous out there. Has it always been?
Always been dangerous, Chirac is what they call it. I mean, it's always been that. It's just like any city. I've been in New York now 13, 14 years. And Chicago, where I grew up, reminds me of the Bronx or Harlem or Brooklyn. It's the same thing,
Really?
It's you got to have street smarts. You got to treat people right and, do good business. And, I would say the one thing about Chicago that's happening that's crazy right now is the kids is just like, everybody's about this savage mentality, so they don't care. They it's like there's no code, It used to be a code to the streets.
Got you.
Now it's just savage.
Whatever happens, happens.
And everybody got hammers in the streets now. Like I saw something where they were saying police came by and dropped boxes of guns in Chicago neighborhoods. And it's crazy. I can believe it because...
No, 12, 13, come on. Don't do that, Success.
I'm saying,
come on, bro.
12 and 13-year-old kids got, Mac 10s with extendo clips. Like, where do you get that? Where does a 12-year-old go to the store and buy an extended clip for a gun? It's crazy. I'm telling you. It's crazy.
There's a lot of problems in the world. Success is in the building. It's the Sit Down. Man, EmEz.
It's not funny, but yeah, it's crazy.
You're right.
It's crazy.
I wouldn't say that I would be surprised if the government were to drop off a box of guns in the hood. It's what the government seems like they would do. But moving on.
Right.
What made you what made you want to become an A&R?
I think growing up, everybody, I grew up Puffy was the big man. Before Puff, you had heard of guys like Quincy Jones and these guys who Berry Gordy, the greats. They were A&Rs in their own right. They found talent, they signed talent, and then they went on to exploit and benefit off of that talent. So I know growing up, I heard about Puff, and Puff was the A&R, and he got fired, and then went on to make Bad Boy Records, and so that me personally, I always had that that vision because I used to rap before that. And then,
oh, really? Uh-huh. Okay. You got any bars here? Cause I throw a beat on. What's up, God?
No.
What's up? No?
Definitely no bars. No bars. That's what happened. I figured out I was better behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Behind the camera, negotiating the deals and the contracts and.
So, talk to me about some of these deals, man. Who have you signed?
So I got a kid right now he's like the biggest dancehall artist named Cranium. Y'all play the record.
Absolutely, I know Cranium.
He got a couple big records. So yeah, recently, we killing with Cranium. He got to join out with Tory Lanez right now. That's blowing up. Prior to Cranium, I work with 7th Streeter, who Seven.
I need the contact with Seven. Some things
we
I
can
need to talk to her
we
about.
can make that happen.
No, it's business.
We can definitely set that up.
Hey, Seven.
Seven's out there doing her thing right now.
Yes, I seen her at the Philadelphia 76ers doing the national anthem makeup for the whole Black Lives Matter thing.
Exactly. She killed it too.
Yes, she did.
They had to come back. She had her We Matter shirt on. So shout out to Seven and that whole team. And then, guys like Lupe Fiasco, he's from Chicago with me, so came up with me. But outside of the kind of A&R that I am, I'm a records guy. So whereas we have all these amazing artists on Atlantic, and I have certain artists that I'm responsible for, but then I also am a guy that's delivering records for other artists. So you sign an artist, he needs a hit single. I'm the guy that's out finding dope tracks and dope hooks to give to your artists.
Oh, okay.
So that's, we collaborate with a lot of our artists on turning in records and, because it's not just about signing the dope artists. It's about making records and hitting the charts and doing those different things, putting points on the board.
Now, tell me what's the most annoying part about working with new artists? The one thing you find in most of them that you're like, these niggas just don't get it. Like, what's the most annoying part about working with artists?
I think it's just either the sense of entitlement.
I knew it. The ego.
Because it's egos on certain artists though. Not all artists. It's like certain artists that come in the game hot already, and they have several labels or executives chasing after them. Of course, they're gonna be like, I'm lit. So who are you to tell me anything? Mm-hmm. I'm not listening. I made it this far without any help, so now that I'm over here, that's just that mentality sometimes, and then it's a learning experience for them too, because eventually you have to give a little and take a little, and then once y'all catch a couple wins together, then they start trusting you and respecting your judgment. So
one thing I've found with new artists, especially, I know that I do a lot of these interviews. The established artists come up here by themselves, maybe one person. These new dudes come up here with like 6, 7, like, fam. If you're that hot, this is not going to be the only time you're at the radio. They come back next time. You can space this out. Come on.
Entourage.
It's the Sit Down. It's your main man, EmEz. Success is in the building. Tell me your biggest dud, your biggest failure. The one guy you thought was going to be it and didn't make it. Come on. Don't tell me you don't got one.
Man. What you mean by dud though? Like,
see, your dud may be someone's biggest success. Someone that maybe dud is the wrong word. Maybe it was. Give me someone that you felt should have been bigger.
That I had personally worked with, or just in general?
That you personally put on. Like, damn, if he would have got a little bit more, if I would have did more for him.
I signed a kid in Chicago a couple years ago, and he was everybody's favorite in Chicago. Lyrical. He was getting Nas comparisons.
Herbo?
Not Herbo. No. I know Herbo. This kid is in that same class. You know what I'm saying? Had a huge record in Chicago. Still to this day got the hottest record.
Bibby?
No, it's not Bibby and Herbo. It's not one of them. Do the research.
I'm trying. Go ahead, keep going. Come on. As you tell, Mike.
Oh man, y'all trying to kill me. But, and like I say, kids still super dope, super young. It's just that certain things didn't line up the way they were supposed to, and you know, he's no longer at the label, but he you know, still super dope.
So
one of those, you know, rappers' favorite rappers in Chicago, and it's just it's more so Chicago rappers in general, because we've had a lot of the guys, the Chief Keef and the, you know, Dirt. We've had so many artists. And
that was my next guest.
Chance the Rapper is like the hottest out of Chicago right now, but you know, we had the whole drill scene from King Louie and all these guys, and now I just look like, I feel like they was a little bit before their time, because they never really, some of them never really achieved that chart success and so forth. So I'm not going to put his business out there, but there's some people that's in that class of people that could have and should have been further than where they are right now, that I'd just be like, man, it's like, man, if I'd have had more time, or if I'd have did this a little differently, and if the team was a little different, you know. So it happens though. We see it, you know. That's part of the game. For every win, there's 10 or so that you like, yo, he could have been. Same thing in sports. It was like that dude
just about
in the hood that could have been better than Jordan.
He tear his ACL, you would have made it, like damn.
Got in trouble, caught that charge, and you know, so it's the same thing.
All right, now there's a lot of people over there at your label. Trey Songz, Waka. Give me some things to look forward to for the new year with Atlantic.
With Atlantic. So obviously we here in New York, man, tri-state. So we got a lot of the youngins. We got the A Boogie with a hoodie. We got Kodak Black.
Oh, my Haitian brother, Kodak. Yes, like that guy.
Right. Like I say, we got Cranium killing the dance hall scene right now. We got P&B Rock out of Philly.
Oh yeah.
We got Lil Uzi Vert out of Philly by way of Atlanta.
Let me ask you.
So here we go.
Little while ago, MTV dropped their hottest MCs of 2016.
Yeah.
Kanye and Drake were the number 1 and 2.
I agree with that for sure, 100%.
Give me, do the rest of the 5. Give me 3 more to round out the top 5.
Mine?
Yes. If you already said you agree with Kanye and Drake,
Kanye
so give me
and
3
Drake,
more.
That's a fact.
Give me the
I
next
think
3.
Kendrick definitely should have been top 5. Kendrick should be, you know, you got to put in Kendrick, Cole.
Okay.
And, I mean, if we talking
2016.
But are we talking lyrics? What are we talking?
MC,
what are
they said MC in the game. MC, yes.
I'm gonna say Future, and I'm gonna get criticized, but Future had a hell of a year. There's a lot of people that's not touching Future, man.
I agree with you. I think those 3 names that you picked was exactly the same names I would have picked. I think Kendrick, Cole, and Future. And then to a later extent, I think Young Thug had a dope year too. Even though I'm not a Young Thug fan, I think he had a really, really dope year.
Thug is in the building too. And then we got Gucci. We got a lot of relevant guys in the building right now. Wiz, Ty Dolla $ign. Man, we got a nice little roster right now, man. So definitely looking forward to a lot of good things.
Oh yes, didn't Waka Flocka leave Atlantic?
Waka, to my knowledge, is still in the building. I don't know. You know, I know there was some issues, but to my knowledge, he's still in the building.
So he's still all right. Shout out to Waka Flocka. It's the Sit Down. It's your main man, EmEz. Bruno Mars.
Bruno had a great year. He's got a huge tour coming up this year. Killing it. So we kill it on that side too, not just the
Kalani. Listen.
Kalani.
Talk to me about Kevin Gates. Are you guys dealing with him while he's still in jail?
Yeah, of course. Gates had a great year last year. You know, he had to unfortunately go sit down for a few minutes and handle that situation, but definitely expect new things and big things coming back. He'll probably be out by the summer.
So what's in your iTunes? What are you listening to in your car on the ride over? Besides Power 105.1, that is.
Definitely listen to Power. Definitely listen to all the artists I just mentioned. All the new young guys. I'm a little older, so on my Spotify and my Apple, I'm listening to some of the classic albums too. I'm still listening to Illmatic and the Big and the Pac and all of that kind of thing. Just because it's a difference in, when you working and then what you just want to drive home. I live in Westchester, so when I'm riding upstate, I can't listen to some of the stuff that I'm working all day listening to.
I tell
And
people.
I, you know, have to be honest with that. Like
I tell
like
people all
to-
the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
like,
When I leave the radio station, guess what I'm not listening to?
what I just
Hip-hop
played
music.
at the radio.
I'm
station.
listening to
Exactly.
sports talk radio
Yep.
or some slow classical piano music. I just spent 4 hours with this.
Yep,
Ask a guy that makes pizza when he goes home, what does he eat?
exactly.
Come
And I'm an
on.
R&B guy too, so I listen to 90s R&B, and you know, I like to vibe out. You know what I'm saying?
So, thank you for coming by, man.
Oh man, appreciate it, man.
Any last words you want to tell the people?
Just watch out, Atlantic Records, man. We coming this year. We got big plans, and you know, we very competitive. So, you know, bet on us if you putting your money on one of the labels.
Okay.
Check us out.
You might got to get some stock in Atlantic, people. Success. Thank you for coming by. It's the Sit Down.
No doubt.
Shout out EmEz and tune in to the Sit Down.
Boy, you should have known by now. Easy does, easy does, easy does.
Power 1051.